morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Kristen. This is my booktube, and this week we're gonna do a bit of a spooky reading vlog. So today is Monday, October 30th, and I figured that we could do a little bit of a spooky themed reading vlog this week since it is Halloween week. Halloween is tomorrow, and though technically Halloween will be over by the end of the day tomorrow, I will probably continue reading the spooky books that I've already started in this vlog, and we'll just try to finish them this week, maybe even next week, but we'll try to finish as many as we can in this reading vlog. My hair is looking a little wild today. That's because I washed it last night and then I went to bed and slept on it. So it's like a little wavy, a little frizzy, but you know, it is what it is and we're just gonna roll with it. So let's talk about what I am currently reading. I have some books that I am listening to and some that I am physically reading. And the books that I am currently listening to are The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, The Graveyard of Lost Children, which was recommended by one of you guys. So thank you so much for that recommendation. I'm only like 2 hours into the audiobook and it's already getting kind of spooky. So love that. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I have a lot of questions that are yet to be answered, but we will have some updates as the week goes on. And then as far as physical books that I'm reading, I am still reading The Intern. I do still have What Lies in the Woods to finish. I finally grabbed that from my parents' house so that I can physically have it with me and maybe get some physical reading in this week. And then I also have Murder in the Family that I have not started yet, but I do really want to read. So that may end up being something that I finish in November for sure. Yeah, with all of the moving and stuff that I've been doing in October, I have not had as much time as I initially wanted to for my spooky season reads. But I think the best course of action will just be to kind of extend that into November and just keep on trucking and see where I am. I feel like you can kind of extend the spooky season into November a little bit, especially because, you know, it's still fall and Thanksgiving isn't until the end of the month, so you can kind of get away with that a little bit in November. And that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna try to carry over the spooky vibes into November and see how many of these books I can finish. In addition to the reading vlog content, we are also going to be working on a Halloween costume, which I already started last night. So the first clips that you're gonna see of this Halloween costume are gonna be from last night. I just didn't record an intro and all of that stuff. So don't think that I did this all in one day. I did not. It was spread over 2 days. But essentially what I'm going to be doing for Halloween this year, because we are having a Halloween contest. No. We are having a Halloween costume contest here in my department tomorrow. I am basically taking the Elton John jersey that I made for the concert back in June, touching it up a little bit because some of the rhinestones did fall off when I washed it. And then I'm also adding to it by bedazzling a long sleeve blue shirt and some softball pants to complete the outfit. And I may even go and buy a bat this afternoon. We'll see. I would also prefer to have a wooden bat. I don't know how hard that's gonna be to find, but we'll see what we can scrounge up after work today. And in addition to that as well, I also committed myself to baking some cookies for a work potluck lunch thing that we're doing tomorrow. So I have a lot of stuff going on this week, and I figured I may as well turn it into a spooky season reading vlog and just kind of take you guys along with me as I'm doing all of the things. It's probably getting on to 10 a.m. now at the office, and I do have some work to do. So I'm gonna get back to my desk and do that stuff, listen to some more of the audiobooks that I'm working on, and then when I get home from work, we will dive right into working on my Halloween costume and the cookies that I am baking for tomorrow. And if you're curious as to what kind of cookies I'm making, I am going to attempt to indoctrinate all of my coworkers without them knowing into the Taylor Swift cult by making her chai sugar cookies that she posted in like 2014. I have everything to make them. I've never actually attempted to make them before, so this will be a fun little experiment. But yeah, so we're gonna attempt to make the chai sugar cookies, and bring those to work tomorrow and see how they go over. I will be taste testing them, obviously, as you do when you bake cookies, but I don't think that there's really a way you could go wrong with it, you know? I think they're gonna turn out good no matter what. And yeah, so let's go ahead and just get started with the day, and I will check in with you guys after I'm done with work, and maybe we'll go get a bat. I don't know, we'll see. I will update you at the end of the day with what the game plan is for the rest of the evening. So, till then. Hello everyone, checking back in. It is now later in the afternoon. It is about 4:45-ish. My Fitbit died on me, so I don't have a watch anymore. And I'm currently recording this on my phone. So in order for me to tell you exactly what time it is, I would have to get up and go to the kitchen and look at a clock. But it is later, nonetheless. And we're just going to ignore the reflection of the ring light in my glasses. These are blue light filtering glasses, so it is bouncing back the blue light from my ring light currently. And I know it's probably really distracting, so let's just deal with it for now. And then in the future, I will try to put in my contacts when I use my ring light. But anyways, I digress. So it is later in the day now, and I have made a lot of progress in the Graveyard of Lost Children. I am over halfway done. I only have a little under 3 hours left. I will say that the audiobook narrator does talk on the slower side. So I am currently listening to it on like 1.8 times speed, but that is solely because the normal speed, the narrator talks quite slowly. So it's not like I'm trying to rush through this book or anything. And I do think that I will definitely finish it tonight, considering I have less than 3 hours left and I got a lot of stoning to do. That did not sound right. Let me rephrase that. I have a lot of rhinestoning to do. Yeah, that's better. I still have the entire back half of each piece of my outfit to touch up / just bedazzle in general. So that should keep me busy for a while. And then I also volunteered to bring cookies tomorrow to my office for Halloween. So I gotta make those too. So all in all, we have quite a busy night ahead of us. And yeah, I just wanted to sit down and check in really quick and just tell you my thoughts so far on the book. So this book was recommended by Brandon a couple times in my comments. And I'm so glad that I got around to reading this book, especially right before Halloween, because it is giving me all of the spooky vibes that I wanted out of my pre-Halloween October reads. I still don't fully understand what's going on. I do have a couple theories, but nothing super concrete that really explains everything. I really don't have a solid solution in mind for what I think is going on, but I am enjoying all of the creepiness of it. I am also enjoying this like kind of unreliable narrator, because this book does deal a lot with postpartum depression and, you know, the struggles of just having a newborn, being sleep deprived, having the mommy brain, that kind of thing. And I think that it utilizes that really well in this book, because everything that is happening to our main character, Olivia, could easily be explained away as, you know, something related to her sleep deprivation from her newborn child. And there's a lot of things that I've heard of happening to new mothers, psychosis-wise, that I can see happening in this book, to where there are a couple different solutions that could come up by the end of this book. One being that, you know, it's all in her head and she is actually inheriting her mother's psychosis and going insane. Two, the mother was never insane to begin with, and something else is afoot, whether that be supernatural or not. So this book centers around Olivia, who is a new mother, literally gave birth in the first chapter, and is trying to raise this newborn baby with her wife, Chris. And Olivia is having a really rough go of it as a first-time mom. And a lot of people are dismissing it in this book as, you know, postpartum depression, or she's just not sleeping enough, or she's just paranoid because she's a new mom, that kind of thing. And since it's told from Olivia's point of view, we're experiencing all of the things that she is seeing along with her. And it doesn't really seem like she's crazy. It does genuinely seem like there is someone or something out to get her and her baby. And it's really capitalizing on the inherent innocence turned sinister creep factor, if that makes any sense. And I think that's why I always find movies and TV shows that have, you know, like sinister children so creepy, because it really is the direct opposite of what you expect from children in general. You know, children are innocent, especially babies are very innocent and helpless. And then in this book, you have where Olivia quite literally thinks that her baby is draining her life from her as she feeds the baby. And there's a lot of talk about how, you know, her baby, whose name is Flora, how Flora is like jaundiced and she's not getting enough to eat. And the doctors are all talking about how the latch may just be too shallow, so she's not getting enough food, and how she can supplement with formula. But Olivia is adamant and believes that there is something else going on here. And she is now to the point in the book where she believes that the only person that has the answers that she is looking for is her mother, who has been in a mental hospital for years and years. And she just went to the mental hospital and found out that her mother had been released like 3 months ago, and no one told her about it. Olivia figured out that her mom is staying with her Aunt Erin, and she has since gone over there and found a journal of her mother's, sneakily took it with her, and she is starting to read it. And I just don't know what direction this is gonna go in. And I am quite invested. I'm very intrigued to see how it goes and how it plays out. But the imagery in this book of this like evil entity that just wants to take children from their mothers is so inherently creepy. And I am just really enjoying all of the chills that I'm getting and how spooky in general this book has been. I guess we can go ahead and cut the check in there. I've already been talking for 10.5 minutes. And let's just get started with our activities for the evening. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to clean up my kitchen so I have somewhere to bake these cookies. So let's just tackle that monster that I have been avoiding to the best of my abilities for the last couple weeks. So yeah, let's go ahead and go clean my kitchen. Also, before we get fully into it, I just want to show you guys the spooky sweatshirt that I'm wearing today. My grandma made it for me. The same one that has made the coffee cups that I've been showing you guys made this for me as well with her Cricut by request. And it is a bunch of skeletons hanging jack-o'-lanterns on a Christmas tree. And it says, "'Tis the season to be creepy." Figured it was the perfect shirt to wear on Halloween Eve, All Hallows Eve, you know, the day before Halloween. Wanted to go ahead and show you that because I'm about to change into some shorts and a t-shirt so that I can get to cleaning. So let's go ahead and get started because it's gonna be a long night, my friends, and you're gonna be with me the whole way through. So let's get going. Okay, so this is the view of the kitchen right now. Not much has changed since I last showed it to you guys, other than the fact that I've gone to the grocery store and I have all of my baking ingredients right over there. So let's go ahead and just start trying to organize this stuff. Most of these dishes are clean. I have been going through it and putting all of them through the dishwasher to sanitize them. I just haven't really put any of them away yet. So let's go ahead and just get this place a little more organized, and then let's get cooking. jersey right now. As you can see, a lot of it did stay intact through the washing machine. I did not dry it, but mostly what came off were like some of these blue rhinestones. Most of the ones that came off are from the logo in the middle or the one, and then there are a couple on the back that came off. And then also a few of the ones on the piping around the edge came off. And then for the hat, I just had one little pearl that came off that I can easily fix fairly quickly. I also may end up putting some more pearls on this. I haven't decided yet. It depends on how much time I have, because I also bought some softball pants and like a blue kind of rash guard long sleeve shirt that I also want to do some bedazzling on. So it'll all depend on how long it takes me to touch these two things up and do all of this for me to decide if I want to do anything else to this hat or just leave it the way it is. I think it looks great the way it is, but you know, this plain edge kind of takes a bit of it away. So I may end up doing something else to this hat, maybe even just putting more gems on here, because I did order a whole new bag of blue gems as well as more of the crystal ones. And then I still have a ton of red left because the only thing I used the red on was the number 1. These are all of the gems that came off in the wash. I just put the jersey inside of a garment bag so that it would catch any of the gems that fell off in the wash. And I'm gonna salvage what I can of these, but if some of them are like unusable, then I do have extras as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on the restoration, I guess. Morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 31st. It is Halloween, and I am clearly in my Elton John costume, and I am at my office. So the baking and bedazzling took way longer than I expected, and I was baking cookies up until 1 a.m. last night. So we didn't have a check-in, but I did make some progress. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick, and then we'll do a little costume overview before getting on with the day. So last night, while I was baking and bedazzling my life away, I finished The Graveyard of Lost Children, and I am very close to finishing The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So lots of good progress was made last night. And as far as what I thought about The Graveyard of Lost Children, I ended up giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It had a lot of creepiness to it that I enjoyed. It spooked me out a bit, which is exactly what I wanted the day before Halloween. I just think that I kind of gravitate towards more thrillers that are not supernatural based, which I don't even know if you can technically call it supernatural. Essentially, the main antagonist, the woman with long dark hair that Olivia was seeing throughout the entire book, that her mom saw, that her grandma saw, in the end is like some sort of physical manifestation of like postpartum depression in a sense, I guess. They basically explain the woman with long black hair as the person that you become as a mother when you do something out of character. So the examples that they used were things like when you snap and like yell at your kids, or when you just are not feeling yourself. That is supposedly this woman with long black hair creeping into your psyche and kind of taking over. And so she's kind of like a physical manifestation of like, you know, the devil on your shoulder, the intrusive thoughts in the back of your head kind of thing. And those tendencies that don't line up with, you know, the typical depiction of motherly bliss, kind of the typical depiction of what a mother should be. And supposedly it's something that every mother sees, every mother encounters, but Olivia's family in particular is more susceptible to succumbing to those intrusive thoughts than other women are for some reason. I guess it's like some sort of genetic thing. I didn't dislike the ending. I just want to make that clear. I didn't dislike it. I just feel like the whole time I was trying to find like a rational explanation where like, you know, the woman with long black hair is actually one of these side characters who's just trying to make Olivia think that she's going crazy, that kind of thing. But that's not what it ended up being. And that's not really like a knock on the book. It's just not what I thought was going on. So I'm not like upset about it. I still gave it 4 stars because I did really enjoy it. I enjoyed the experience of reading it. But I do see where people rate it like 3 stars. I can see how it can be kind of forgettable for some people, but I do think that it had really good spook factor pretty much the whole way through. I was invested trying to figure out what's going on. I wanted there to be more to the ending than there actually was. So that's my only complaint about it, but I did really enjoy it. If you are thinking about reading it, I will give a little disclaimer that there is like a bit of body horror, I would say. It has a lot to do with being a new mother, things like breastfeeding and the stresses of new motherhood where it makes like your hair fall out. And there's a lot of like kind of gross body descriptions, I would say, of the changes Olivia's body is going through. And if you're sensitive to anything to do with postpartum depression or new motherhood or things like that, then this may not be a good book for you. But I think for me, as like kind of a general consumer who doesn't have those kind of aversions and stuff, I did really enjoy it. The little bit of like body gore that there was made me a little uncomfy, but it wasn't enough for me to stop reading or anything like that. And I'm someone who is not a big fan of body horror and body gore. That's why I don't read a ton of horrors, because I've found that the real distinction between a thriller and a horror is, at least in my opinion, comes down to things like body gore and stuff like that. And it's just not something I'm a big fan of, descriptions of like pain and injuries and stuff like that. So even though I have a slight aversion to stuff like that, it wasn't anything extreme enough for me to put the book down and stop reading. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it, and we will rehash more of what I thought as I was reading when I filmed the reading wrap up in a couple days. The other thing that I listened to last night was more of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I have under 2 hours left, maybe an hour, 45 minutes, but I did also listen to some of it this morning, so we're just gonna say around 2 hours. So I think I should be able to finish that today. It depends on what time our office Halloween festivities kick off, because I am on the party squad, so I am going to have to help set up the lunch, have some responsibilities throughout the day to where I can't really be listening to an audiobook, but we'll get through as much as we can, and hopefully we can finish that today. I will say that the actual Hunger Games part of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes ended way sooner than I thought it would. I thought that the actual Hunger Games would be a bigger part of this book, but the actual Hunger Games part of the story ended and there was still like 5 hours left in the audiobook. And some stuff has been happening, but I feel like there is a bigger climax ahead. So I'm interested to keep reading and see how that goes. And then probably after that, I'm just gonna jump right into the Hunger Games while this one is still fresh in my mind, because I did find that trying to pick this up after a couple weeks of not reading it, I've kind of forgotten a bit of the plot line. Not really the plot line. I've kind of forgotten who some of the characters are, just because some of their names are not names that I'm used to hearing. They're not like common names and stuff like that. Like Coriolanus is President Snow's first name, and like never heard the name Coriolanus before. And there's also like Sejanus. The only person with a normal name really is Lucy Greybeard, and pretty much everyone else has more uncommon names that didn't really commit to memory, so they kind of like fell out of my head a bit. But yeah, so that is basically the plan for today. We're gonna try to finish The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes before the Halloween festivities begin, and then I'm going to drive over to my parents' house after work, so I'll have about 45 minutes while I drive to also listen to it. So I think between those two, we should be able to finish The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes today and bring the total books read in October to, I think, 4? I could be wrong. It could be only 3, but nonetheless, we're gonna keep on trucking and we'll see what we can get through.
Hello everyone, editing Kristen here. I did not wrap up this video, so we're gonna do a little outro / wrap up from my desk. As you can see, it's still not organized, cleaned, put away, really any of that stuff. Been a rough couple weeks, so hasn't really been top of my priority list. And it will get done eventually. It's just not taking precedent right now for several reasons, but they are personal reasons and I don't really feel like sharing them on the internet. Anyways, that's my spiel about why all of this is here, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to wrap up this spooky reading vlog. Initially, I wanted to post this video last week, but at the last minute, I was thinking that it made a lot more sense to switch them around and just put my spooky reading vlog in November so that I could get my reading wrap-up video out on time. So that is why you are seeing a spooky reading vlog in mid-November. As far as the books that I finished in this reading vlog, the only book that I did finish was Graveyard of Lost Children. And I've already told you how I felt about that. It's already been in my reading wrap up. I did almost finish The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I was really busy on Halloween at work between the potluck thing that we had going on and my actual work, and then going to my parents' house and handing out Halloween candy with them. It was just a very busy day, and I did not have time to finish reading Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, nor did I have time to pick up a camera and really end this vlog. But yeah, so I did finish The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I am currently reading The Hunger Games, and I'm about halfway through the first Hunger Games book as well, so we're making good progress on that too. But I'm so sorry to disappoint, but I did not finish The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in this video like I thought I would. But rest assured, I did finish it very early in November, and I am primed and ready to see the movie when it comes out, and I will be doing a reading vlog. Well, I am currently working on a reading vlog for the Hunger Games reread and rewatching, because I do still want to watch the movies as I read the books. So those will be coming fairly soon. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this reading vlog. I know that it was kind of all over the place, but I still wanted to share this little reading vlog / craft vlog / kind of a moving vlog too, I guess. All of the things. We did all of the things in this week's video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and leave a like down below. Let me know. You should also subscribe while you're down there, because I put out new videos every single weekend. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.